Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing well. Well, here we are for October pickups. I don't know where the month's gone, to be honest, and I think when I put this video out, it's certainly going to be into November. Not like a massive amount this month, but some stuff that I've been wanting for a while, or some odds and sods that kind of popped up, and I thought, right, I'm just going to have to go for it. And so yeah, what I've been up to, mainly bloody work, putting the hours in, as I'm sure all of you guys are as well. So yeah, certainly getting their pound of flesh, which hasn't left much time for gaming or kind of game hunting. But that said, clearly I've got some stuff here as a pickup, so I must have found a few bits right. Had a bit of a rejig of the games room, not like, I wouldn't say like massively. I've kind of just shifted a few things around, brought some stuff forward, such as the Game Boy boxes down there. Probably just, I think just at the top of the screen, you probably see like the Switch collection. I kind of rotated bits down at the top. I got some Evercade bits, and yeah, had a bit of a rejiggle. Went into the loft, which I hadn't been into for some time. I had a sort out there of mainly kind of toys and things up there, and gave a bit of a kind of hard look as to what could really be up there in the next 5-10 years and not really worth any kind of value at all, and probably just gathering dust. And it's not the best insulated kind of loft, so the temperature as well on certain items probably isn't the best place to keep it. So yeah, it was a bit brutal, but gone through, picked some bits, started to sell some stuff on eBay, and also within some consoles, I wouldn't quite say some collections, but certain consoles where I've had more than one. I've kind of just kind of gone back, kept the best of the best. I've got a few obviously boxed consoles, so kind of retained them. Sold some of the other bits which probably weren't as good quality, and some of the loose unboxed consoles, I should say. Got rid of some of those bits as well. So yeah, so I've raised a bit of money, but I'm sure a lot of you guys and girls, you collect stuff, so you raise money and then it inevitably just goes straight back into the collection. So like a bit of an idiot, probably a bit of money, not loads of money, but a bit of money from the sales burning in my pocket. And it's like, okay, what can I look at? So yeah, let's kind of crunch through. And obviously the other thing is it's kind of just a bit of a change. Just tilted the camera around, so I just done a 90-degree kind of shift around. So hopefully it's not too overbearing behind with the neon, with the PR piece I'm doing. I think I mentioned it before, but it got a little fairly cheapy like monitor off of Amazon, and because if you've seen any of my so like room tours, but kind of house tours, because I kind of scatter systems and consoles all over the place. It's difficult at the moment downstairs in the front room to get much use in the telly, because the wife and the son have got first dibs on TV stuff as opposed to gaming bits. So I thought, right, I'll bring the Switch up here. So I got it plugged into there. Got a funky little stand. I think the stand was only about a tenner, again off Amazon. Swiveled it round, and then a bit of a tate mode. So it keeps dimming a bit, but it's got the Capcom collection on one of them, and obviously a few vertical shooters, so like Wild Gunman on the go, like the Japanese version. So yeah, it's a bit of it's something a bit different. It's not a massive screen, but it's fairly bright, fairly punchy, and it means I'm getting to play some games, a bit of isolation, and just sneak in a little beer fridge, a mini fridge, and then perhaps I'll be made up. So yeah, let's crack on. So a bit of a toy, not I guess retro inspired toy, but it's a new release, but based on the original figure. So like Boba Fett, it's like the Star Wars, kind of like I say, the newish range, kind of the prototype editions where they're just getting a bit jazzy with the colours. So they've done a couple of these already. They've done like a Stormtrooper, and Darth Vader. May have done another one as well, maybe a Luke Skywalker one. But yeah, so I had to jump on there. It's one of my favourite characters. The card back, it's probably not doing it like justice, but it's like really yeah, quite reflective, a bit different, a bit kind of pop arty, which is quite nice. So yeah, love that. Just got it hanging on the wall, literally above the R in Retro Ed, and yeah, the back. But it's, yeah, like I say, it's a newish release. But these ones, again, I don't know if it's because it's just the prototype with the colours. You know, if you don't grab them fairly early on, then they go, and then the idiots on Fleabay just yeah, mark them up and sell them for a ruddy fortune. So as I knew I wanted this one, I was a bit more organised than normal. So got that. This next piece, Eddie Rollercore, kind of got me onto it and kind of made me aware about this, and it must have been early on the year. So it's been pulled together. It's a book. It's been pulled together by I think a smallish publishing house. But it's the handheld history, and it's absolutely bloody awesome. So I don't think I went like top tier, but I got like a special edition one where you get like a bookmark and a few little, show some of them. Yeah, little jazzy bookmark, which obviously there's the same images that are on the front of the book, and then you've got a collection. I think it's like GBA, Game Boy Color, etc. A few more. I won't go through all of them, but it's basically the history. Really, yeah, it's in the name. But history of handheld gaming. There's loads of stuff in there from like Game and Watch, and it goes up to pretty much modern day with the analog pocket. But it's just really good combo of like pucker pictures, but yeah, some blurb as well. So it's a bit of a happy, happy medium in there. The good old, yeah, Magnum, well thumb page, the 3DS. But yeah, so it talks about the handhelds, the history, how they came about, some of the best games, the go-to games for the handheld in that kind of chapter, and it's just really, really well done. So yeah, chuffed with how much it was. About 30 or 40, yeah, 40 quid, but it's not a well produced. You can see it's a hardback. It's fairly like, chunky with the extra bits. But yeah, so loving that. I haven't bought a book in a little while. And then yeah, when they're on to games, mainly Nintendo. I think there might be a Nintendo cart that's got some Sega stuff on it, but yeah. So the only kind of Sega thing, very common game, Revenge of Shinobi. But yeah, had this back in the day, and had it on loose cart for some time. A few years, been downstairs, and this one kind of popped up. I think it was on. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was on eBay, and I thought, right, just want to grab it because it's a game that's got a bit sentimental value. I thought, right, I'll get in on that, and it's obviously the hang tab. The manual's not like perfect. It's a bit like dog-eared, a bit rough in the corners, but all the rest of it, like I say, it's not a rare one, but it means something to me. And I have got like an EverDrive cart, so I'm only really going after games that kind of mean something, as opposed to just absolutely flogging the shelves. Maybe the odd Japanese cart as well. So got that, and then the rest of it is a bit of Nintendo fest. So what have we got here? So yeah, a few of these bits are from retrogames.co.uk. We've got to check that channel out for a member. I'll leave details in the description below. But yeah, good old Jace does a video on a Friday, and I know certain members of the community really on a Saturday morning getting out with a cup of coffee, putting that on and enjoying the episode. But yeah, it's very, very good, and he talks through all stuff, all matters of stuff. He's got quite a good involvement in the gaming industry, back in the day. So you see footage of him, on TV shows and radio shows. He had a big shop, I think, in London, and now we've got an awesome website. So I always get a few bits and bobs from him. Let's whiz through. So some GBA games, Super Mario Ball. Haven't got this one. I've heard some quite good things about it. It's probably evident from the name, but it's like a bit of a pinball type game, but obviously with all the Super Mario characters and enemies, but the level designs are pretty much pinball tables, or kind of the pinball dynamics. So yeah, thought that was pretty cool. Here's the Sega one, so the Sega Smash Pack again for the GBA. So I think it's not the best of. You've got a Golden Axe on there, which is pretty cool. Echo, Dolphin, which I've never really massively been into. I'm trying to think for the life of me what the third game is. If I remember, I'll come back to it. Otherwise, if I remember, I'll put it on there. I'll put it on the screen. And then here we've got, it's a bit random order really. Original Game Boy game, so Drop Zone, obviously very common. Yeah, popular game going back to obviously the arcade days, a bit like Defender, but with a little spaceship guy buzzing around the screen. So yeah, cheap and cheerful. These next two again were just kind of a bit of Insomniac eBay purchases, the last noggins, just sorting by Game Boy games and then just seeing what's coming up next. Nothing really to write home about, particularly on this one. I thought it looked quite cool, but the game, track and field, in case you can't, I'm sure you can work that out. It's a bit so-so on the on the Game Boy Color, but I think it was about 12 quid, like posted. So I've got a few like box protectors and stuff, and they're pretty cute, pretty small, and yeah, it just looked pretty awesome. So I've gone for, I've been tempted in by the ruddy box art, and again, another couple of arcade combos. So Galaga and Galaxian for the OG and Game Boy. I think this was a bit more, but not much more. Kind of like 15 to 20 quid. Box is okay. It's not perfect, but for some of these Game Boy ones can get very, very tatty. But yeah, not a bad little combo really for the money. I thought, hey ho. This next one actually links to the Super Game Shack. So when I did my little UK tour, I only went to hit one part of the bloody UK, but in Leicester, went to visit that place, and I think I mentioned it on my on the video I did when I did the walk around of the shop, and then I was chatting with the guy, and I saw this game up on the shelf, and I was like, how much is that? And he'd only just got it in. I know it's a particularly, I'd say it's like a rare game. It's fairly uncommon. For the price of it's kind of going up and up. I'm not entirely sure if it came out in kind of the PAL region. Definitely Japan, definitely US. I think it might come in PAL, but yeah, again, you don't really see many of them coming around. But yeah, he hadn't kind of priced it up. He was kind of reluctant to price it up when I was there, and I said, look, I'm not going to be back soonish because I'm like 2.5, but 250 miles down the bloody road. So yeah, kind of kept in touch, a bit of an exchange, and eventually it came through. It really was a ramble, wasn't it? Apologies, but Kirby's Dream Land 2. So I've got it. Yeah, I've got the Japanese cart, which is probably about bloody 5 to 10 quid, really a fiver on eBay. But to get kind of a boxed version of this is obviously the US one is a bit of a bugger. There's a few floating around in Europe. I'm sure I've seen some like Scandinavian ones or kind of German versions, but I haven't seen. Maybe there is a UK one and I just haven't come across it. But anyway, grabbed that, which was pretty cool. And then sticking with it is Nintendo here on out. So I've got some Famicom games, and this is from retrogames.co.uk, and kind of again smitten by the box art, but most of them are pretty awesome bloody games. So I've got this on the Game Boy, but yeah, not for the Famicom. So Kid Dracula, nice little cheeky little platformer. Obviously kind of a very pretty removed relative of the Castlevania series. Very different in nature, but yeah, good fun. 1942, which I think is on the Capcom collection as well, like the Switch, like the arcade version on the Switch. Well, hey, Wild Gunman. Parodius, really cool cover. The Parodius box art seems to always be very very nice, really different from the Super Famicom cover, or a kind of darker background. But yeah, pretty decent. And this one, which you might struggle to see in the light, but it's like a bluey silver, but like Star Wars. But I just thought this is, I do love my Star Wars, but this is beautiful. Absolutely love this. You can see the reflection of me in the old camera. Yeah, I'm just holding it there. I'm just kind of hypnotised. But yeah, loving it. It's almost a bit, metallic-y, like one of those bloody old like Transformers. But yeah, loving this thing. And yeah, to end up with, we've got two Super Nintendo, or I should say Super Famicom games. And again, the good games. It's the double delight, the double disc, good games and bloody good box art. And yeah, I think they're probably first equals. I don't think there's one that's better than the other. Look at that, bloody Smash TV. Friggin' love this game. Love it on the arcade. Had it on the SNES growing up. Long gone that cart. See, a bit of a kind of a top-down arena shooter. A bit like what Xeno Crisis is. I'm sure it's kind of modelled on this, but a bit of a Running Man theme, and like a game show. You go room to room, just taking out the hordes of baddies that you're after you. But this is, yeah, and they sell the box protectors hide all the multitude of sins, but this one genuinely out of the box is just as good. So well chuffed with that. And the final one, man, this is just, yeah, one of my favourite kind of characters from the DC universe. And yeah, a bit of Batman Returns. So it's kind of like the early Batman movies from the Tim Burton era, I should say, as opposed to the well back in the day. But I really like them. I mean, I love the first Batman, but I do really enjoy Batman Returns. I do like the old Danny DeVito. I think the Penguin. His name is Koopa. Is absolutely superb. But check that out. I mean, it's just like the box art is insanely good, and it's in my opinion, it's a cracking bloody game as well. Awesome kind of awesome beat 'em up. Flows like really fast game. Big bloody sprites. Very kind of dark, Tim Burton-esque kind of backgrounds. Very like grim looking game. Grim looking enemies, or clowns and all sorts. Evil enemies on like stilts. It's just it's just an amazing game. Absolutely love it. And that's it, guys. So yeah, fairly quick one. I've got a bit of a console reveal coming up soon, which I'll probably cover off in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'll kind of show you a bit more about that. It's a bit of a coincidence because one of the other tubers picked up a similar, like it's a different variant of the same system. Recently did a kind of his review on it, so it's cool. A bit of a partner in crime to collect for it on, but it's a bit different. And I thank that one to another tuber who kindly sold it on to me. So more of that to come. Bit of a shitty teaser at the end. Anyway, have a good one wherever you're up to. Stay safe, and I'll catch you very soon. All the best. Cheers.